Okay, so I think we're ready.
Not yet, just 1 second. So sorry. It's taking a minute to load. We are live.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Rob Sims, and I am calling to order the meeting of the High Point Citizens Advisory Council this Thursday evening, July 22nd, 2021. We are streaming live this evening, so I want to welcome all members, staff members, guests, and any attendees that are here this evening. Real quick, we want to start with a roll call. We have Orel Henry.
Present.
We have Miss Jessica Wynn.
Here.
Okay. We have Michael McNair.
Here.
Evening, sir. We have Miss Michelle McNair. The hand is good. Miss Kaisha Hicks.
Hello.
Good evening. And I forgot the young lady's name. What's her name? Our
Noel.
Noel. Hey, Noel. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
And we now have Mr. Warren Boone, I believe, is connecting in. Mr. Boone.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fantastic.
Excellent. And so we're going to start the meeting. I would like for everyone just to take a minute. We're going to take a moment of silence. We want everyone just to have a moment, think about loved ones, think about our friends, our families, and we'll start that moment right now. Okay. All right. So we're going to start the meeting with May's minutes, the month of May 2021's minutes. And has everyone had a chance to look over the minutes?
Yes.
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 Do we have any questions, comments, or concerns?
I do have a question. Mr. Chair?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I did read it. Everything looks good. I was just wondering, in the beginning it mentions that Jessica Wynn was absent, but at the end it has that she seconded.
Is this the original version or the revised version?
Oh, you know what? You might have a point there. Let me check in.
No,
check my email.
if she was left off the first one, then she's left off the second one. So we need to add her onto that.
Was I? I think I was absent in the May one. Because the May one would have been right before June market, right?
Yes.
Because June market was actually the first week, so I was absent.
Oh, okay.
So
Got
that
it.
part is correct. What I'd seconded was incorrect.
So maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was Cloder. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I think
We have to
May was the one I was, just because it was so
Cloder.
close to market.
It was Cloda.
Okay. We'll
Okay.
make that
I'll make
that
the
correction.
change. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
make the
thanks.
correction.
I didn't notice the second and the end. Good catch, Earl.
I didn't either.
Mhm.
I didn't notice the agenda. And the other correction on it where I sent you guys out, Jim's
Yeah.
name was left off of it. And so when I sent it out, Jim said, "Oh, you guys missed me again." And so I immediately corrected it and sent it back to him. So send it back to you guys.
Yes.
So that was the only
Yep,
thing that
I saw that. Yes, thanks.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, concerns, comments? All right. Thank you, Aurel. We'll get that correction made, and then we'll resubmit the document. Is that correct, Michelle?
We won't resubmit it. We'll just make the changes with the corrections and that will be it.
Okay. Excellent. All right. We're going to move to the old business, and we're going to start with any neighborhood updates.
Well, I mean, Oakview Citizens Council hasn't had an in-person meeting, or they've been having in-person meetings, but we haven't had a public meeting this week. But we've had lots of internal planning meetings for the Oakview Citizens Council National Night Out, which is going to be Tuesday, August 3rd. That's when National Night always is. But we're gonna have, it's gonna be at the Oakview Rec Center, which is at 503 James Road. And we're going to have the ARC there, hopefully High Point PD, hopefully a K9 unit if they're able to pull that off, High Point Fire, the typical National Night Out stuff, some games and giveaways, free food, some music, all outdoors and kind of that field that's right outside the Oak Center by the tennis court. So yeah, we're really excited about it. I'll be sending a flyer to Michelle for approval, and she'll help us print, but we'll certainly distribute it to the group. I think Jim said that he made a Facebook event, so you can find it on the Oakview Citizens Council Facebook page. And we're excited. Hype from the Rockers is going to be there. And we did get some Rockers tickets to like raffle off, and we have a few other cool prizes too. So yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. We want to make sure that we get that information out. National Night Out is coming up the first week in August. So I think there's a lot of neighborhood associations that will be having activities. So we want to make sure we spread the word, let everybody know that, we've got High Point is back in swing, and hopefully we can, make this a great upcoming year, at least for our students and our kids. Does anyone else have any neighborhood meeting updates?
I attended the Washington Street meeting that they had last month, I think it was. And they pretty much was talking about some speeding on the streets and some things that they were wanting to do with the speeding. And they're gonna have Mark McDonald or his representative and someone from the police department traffic unit to speak at their meeting next week to talk about traffic and traffic calming and stuff of that nature. They also had a couple of weeks ago and Rob, I think you might have been there, a food giveaway.
Yes.
That they gave out to the community. They're doing that more frequently now. The DUP, which is in that neighborhood, has actually started their youth camp and doing some summer things with the young people in that neighborhood, and I think with the Burns Hill neighborhood. Let me see what else. Oh, they will have National Night Out. It's not going to be, most of our neighborhoods are not doing a full blown out National Night Out. They are reducing it because of the COVID, because of the situation with COVID. And so they have actually are going to reduce what they do. It's not going to be the full blown out thing. A lot of them will be giving out food. I think Jim is the only one that's working to do a full blown out, but most of the other ones are not. And then some of them have talked about possibly even maybe not even having a National Night Out if these numbers continue to go up. And so everybody's sort of watching that and watching what they do. But at this moment, we have Oakview that's having National Night Out. We have Burns Hill. We have Washington Street. We have West End Ministries. We have London Woods. We have Haley Historical Association, which is right around the museum. The museum normally does that. We have Highland Mills. Not sure about Southside. They have not confirmed yay or nay. They said that they wanted to do something, but I don't have any information. And Persian Street will not be doing one. Macedonia will be doing something, and Washington Terrace will not be doing a National Night Out. I will send you guys a list with the times and the locations so that if you want to pop in on some of the activities that are going on, you know what time and you know where that needs to, where you need to be or how you want to do that. Most of them are requesting the fire truck and the police to come by, but I am not, I think that's pretty much maybe all they're going to do, except for maybe have some food somehow or another, either give away food or have a cookout. But not very much activities are going to be going on. And so, and everybody's, I think, is going to be pretty much on the outside. And so that's where they are at this time.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. And also, Michelle, could we get a list of what neighborhood groups will be meeting in August? I don't know if they're trying to replace the meeting with National Night Out.
Normally, normally neighborhoods do not meet during in the month that they do National Night Out. They consider that as their meeting, but I will find out if any of them have changed. Some of them decide that they're going to meet anyway, but a lot of them decide that National Night Out is their meeting month, and therefore they will not meet again until September. But I will double check with everyone.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Michelle.
And I would just share with you guys also about just neighborhood update is that a lot of neighborhoods may end up having to rebuild, when they do go back because of, people have not either met or really had formal type meetings throughout the whole 18 months that we've sort of been, working with this pandemic. So a lot of people are probably going to have to do some rebuilding and doing some things. We're going to probably have to have a little bit more training again with some of the officers, and then have them to actually go through and revisit their bylaws and some of the goals that we have. I think we may have one neighborhood that has chosen not to do bylaws. And maybe this time around they will, I don't know. But we're going to have to do some work. And I may reach out for you guys to maybe assist in doing some of that with me, to sort of rebuild some of the associations that we have out there. They got to rebuild those core groups back up again. There's a lot of people that might attend or volunteer to do functions, but you got to have a core group to make sure this thing works. If not, you're going to burn out just a few people that you have. And so hopefully we'll be able to work that once we go through and see what this next phase of the Delta variant is how that's gonna play out.
Yeah, I would love to help with that.
Thank you, Jessica.
I read your lips.
Well, thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Michelle.
I second that.
And Rahel, thank you, sir.
No problem.
All right, excellent. So, with that, we will move to our next item agenda, which is the agency tours. And there were a few tours that were scheduled for this past month. Of them, we were scheduled to go to the ARC, Mental Health Associates of the Triad, West End Ministries, and Growing High Point. So we'll start with Jessica, and you can tell us all about your tour.
Yeah, so I went to West End Ministries actually this past week. I had been there one time to donate water, actually, that was left over from market, but that was several years ago now, and I literally just dropped off water in a box truck and left. So I didn't really remember much about the space at all. But Brad showed me around. I think it was really great. I got to see, I forgot what we technically call, but it's the educational wing upstairs that we funded. That literally they cut the ribbon, and I think then we all had to go home for lockdown. So they haven't had a chance to use it yet, unfortunately, but I saw it all set up. It looks awesome. The way they did the space was great. And I know they're really eager for all of this to be over so they can, get kids back in there again. So looking forward to that. I had never seen Leslie's house before. I had never even really laid eyes on Leslie's house before, nevertheless been into Leslie's house. So it was great to be able to see that. I think it's really, really, really important work that they're doing over there. They're doing a lot of thrift store improvements right now. And they kind of talked about how the thrift stores been, started out at like 25% of their budget, and it's grown a little bit. And, they're hoping to make that a bigger part of their income for the shelter for Leslie's house, as time goes on. So I thought that was great. The thrift stores are huge. They have so much product. It made me think about all the times I go to Goodwill and I'm like, why am I going to Goodwill to give my stuff away? I need to go to West End Ministries to give my stuff away. So yeah, I mean, it was really, really great. It was a little eye-opening into like how much work and like how much upfitting they've done to that space to make it work for them. I mean, Leslie's house is, when you see it, it's like a house that they kind of revamped to make it for multiple people. The bathrooms have it's like a gym bathroom. And I was like, that must have taken a lot of money to change a regular bathroom space into something like that for multiple people. So I know they're really excited about the shed. They're hoping to work on that soon, which was the last project we funded, for the storage for women's clothing so they don't have to give stuff up. But I think after seeing the space too, and just like meeting some of the people that are tenants at Leslie House and everything, I can really understand why being able to keep the last bit of your belongings that you have in the entire world is really, really important. And so I was glad that we were able to do that for them. So it was a really, really great tour. Brad was great, and I was extremely impressed with the facilities and the staff in general, and just really reminds you how important that stuff is to the community. So it was a great tour.
Thank you, Jessica. And I have to second that tour that you went on with Western Ministries. I went on the same tour, and there's a lot that they're doing over there. And it just, doesn't say enough, the effort that they give every day just to help the citizens here in High Point. And the shed that we're going to put up really will, have a tremendous impact on those recipients of the services. And so, I think we did a great job with that one, guys. So you can all give yourselves a round of applause, because that was really a great project. Myself and Clodagh also were able to take a tour of the ARC and Mental Health Associates of the Triad. And I can say for, everyone on this call, you really don't know what these agencies do until you actually see it in person. And, for the ARC and the Mental Health Associates of the Triad, I mean, they are just incredible in their attention to their clients and the services that they provide. I never knew that mental health associates, they actually have these free classes that anyone can go into, and they can learn how to paint. They don't do really too many volunteers at this point, but they do have classes where people can come in and help with painting as well as ceramics. And both of those ladies over there, Stephanie, the executive director, and her assistant, I mean, they do a fantastic job. And we were there when they had actually a case, a dental case, and I heard a scream that was so wicked, made me go to the dentist the next week. Okay. So if you hear me crying over here, I do have a little toothache, but it had nothing to do with mental health associates. But again, money well spent on that, because they service a great population here in High Point. And so that service has proven to be very, very impactful with mental health associates. And so me and Clodagh had a great time with them, as well as growing High Point. I don't know if you guys know this, but there is a greenhouse that they have. I think it's on Russell Street. What street is that?
Persian.
That Pershing over off of Green?
Yes.
Guys, they have an incredible young man over there who is an absolute green thumb. He's planted some of the best tomato plants you've ever seen. He's got some buckets in the ground. He's also has some stand-up tomato plants. And, he's doing an excellent job over there, and he's very, very enthusiastic. I suggest anyone that gets a chance to go check out Growing High Point, because not just with the gardens, but the actual Grodega that we now have, the mobile Grodega, which we actually help to fund as well. They're doing a great job. They have many stops that they make throughout High Point, and they've got some volunteers that come out every day, and she is just doing a tremendous job. Willa is a very enthusiastic young lady, and she came in and she showed us all of the places that Growing High Point is in the city. I mean, there's like 6 or 7 different places she showed us. I didn't even know what there, but they're in pockets of different areas in the city. And I think it's a great project that we've taken on. So again, I want to thank you guys for, showing the support that you have for these projects. And I know they're going to make a great difference in the city. So any questions?
Random fun fact with the Arca High Point. Lots of their participants do like art and things like that and sell them. You can actually, 83 Custom Coffee started selling one of their participants like ceramic coffee mugs. I don't remember her name, but they have a display in 83 Custom Coffee and anybody can go and like buy. They're actually really nice ceramic coffee mugs, and they're all I don't remember her name, which is kind of gonna bug me forever now, but 83 Custom Coffee. You can support the ARC by going in there, getting some coffee, and getting a coffee mug.
Rob, just want to make sure everybody's aware that those gardens are on city-owned property. The city leases to those groups, and that most of them receive mulch and soil, things like that from the Community Garden Assistance Program. And that we have a community garden coordinator that we share the costs with the county in Greensboro, and she spends, I believe, at least 2 days a week in High Point. So I just wanted you to be aware there's a lot of stuff moving around in the background. You see the garden, but there's a lot of stuff happening to make that work. So,
Mike, is I know Leslie's house actually, West End Ministries has a garden, and they use it for their own purposes, but then like me or you could rent a space and grow our own vegetables there. Is that the same? Is that also helped with the city? Okay.
Bountiful Harvest is actually on city property, and as Mike was saying, they have contracted out with the city to be able to use that property that Bountiful Harvest is on. And they also benefit from the mulch and stuff that they need to keep that garden going.
It's awesome.
And yes, thank you for that, Mike, because I would have to agree with you on that. With the behind the scenes activity that's going on, it actually is all a part of what makes these gardens so special. I mean, if you just go out and you look at them, they love volunteers. If you guys can come out and just help move some dirt. I mean, I actually moved some dirt a couple of weeks ago for Mr. Mingo. And I can say that he's put a lot of time and effort and care into these gardens, and he's got the community to come out and put that much attention into it also. So again, kudos to the City of High Point, everyone here on the CAC. I mean, we just did an awesome job there. So again, give you guys yourselves a round of applause. You did excellent.
Rob, that's in addition to enhancing food security, it also improves community interaction. We call it community capacity building, but you get people, particularly that live in the same neighborhood, that will come out and interact, because a lot of times nowadays people don't come out. And so it's an opportunity for neighbors to interact with neighbors, or even people who don't live in the neighborhood who may be renting a spot. You get an opportunity to interact with the community. So it has all kinds of positive spinoffs.
Exactly. In a nutshell, guys. In a nutshell. So good job, Team CAC. Love what you're doing. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? No. Very good. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, guys. Next on the
I think,
agenda.
Jessica, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think, Jessica, you and I are up next to go and see the ARC. The next,
Yes,
week and a
on
half?
Monday, August 2nd
The second.
at
correct.
9:30 or 8:30. It's on my calendar, but
I have 9 o'clock.
okay. I'm sure I have that too. I'll double check for Michelle's
Right, so
sake, so she
we'll
doesn't have to reschedule for
Right.
me.
So we'll update the team once we get there and tour at our next CSC meeting.
Excellent. All right, group, moving to our next item, CAC reappointments. And I think Michelle has an announcement. I think we have one reappointment. Is that Mr. Boone?
No,
Not yet.
no, he's on with you whenever you go on. When you go off, he goes off probably. We have 2 reappointments. One being Kishana Person. She's replacing Willie Davis in Ward 1. And I've spoke with her, and I was expecting her to be on the call tonight. I actually called her while you guys were talking and left her a voicemail message along with leaving one for Mr. Mingo also. And we have Kelly Jackson, who is replacing Jerry Mingo for at large with Councilman Johnson. And I spoke to Kelly today, but we did not have a long conversation. So I am scheduled to call her back. So she was not scheduled to be at this meeting tonight, but she will be scheduled to come to the next meeting. So this would have been Mr. Mingo's last meeting, and I spoke with him today to let him know that this meeting would have been his last meeting, and after this meeting, then Kelly would start coming to the meetings. And so those are the only 2 we have. And I've talked with or emailed Lisa Veerling just to find out if any of the other council members had selected, somebody to replace or to renominate the individuals that they had, and she had not heard back from anybody. Right now, Councilman Peters needs to do something with Rob, and Councilman Jones needs to decide on what he's going to do with Clota. And there was one other, Councilman Moore needs to decide on what he's going to do with Jim. And so as soon as they make that decision, then we'll know if, the other 2 will stay on and if Jim will have a replacement.
Okay. Thank you, Michelle. Let's hope we can get that done as quickly as possible. And we also do want to welcome our new members, even though they're not here. So hopefully we'll be able to see Ms. Jackson and Ms. Person on the next meeting. But we do want to welcome them. And again, that just shows the commitment that citizens do have for the community of High Point. So let's welcome them when they come in, guys, and we'll move on.
And once we get them to make a decision on the others, we will do a orientation like we did with you guys, with our new members.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, moving to the next item, new business. We will open the floor up for any new business. Okay. I do have one piece of information I want to share with everyone, and if Noel, if you can pull up the flyer that I sent out, if you have that.
Noel,
Yes, I have it. Hold on one second. All right, is that showing up now?
Yes, beautiful. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing here is a free event, the Summer Solstice Celebration that's being sponsored by the Welfare Reform Liaison Project and Oak Street Health. This is a free event to the community of High Point that we're offering agencies and services directly for the citizens of High Point. There will be food and games, activities for the kids, a book bag giveaway, and then a plethora of agencies that are come out that will show some of the things that are offered to the community. And so I bring this tonight in hopes that maybe we can get some of our neighborhood associations to come to the event as vendors. We have a spotlight that will give every agency a chance to talk about what their agency does and what services they provide. I want this to be a great celebration for all of High Point, including our CAC and our neighborhood associations. So if you guys get a chance, you get to a meeting, let them know. See if they can come out, and we'd love to have you guys come out and just enjoy your day. Saturday, August the 7th from 10 to 3. Free food. Don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything but come bring your happiness, and we're going to have a summer solstice celebration.
Very cool.
Mr. Chair,
Sir,
if someone wants to be a vendor, what do they have to do to sign up?
they can contact the Moorhead Recreation Center. The number is listed there on the bottom to the left, 883-3506. You can ask for Valentina. She's the Moorhead Recreation Center director. And sign up is free. Doesn't cost you a thing. We have tables and tents available, whoever wants to come in. And again, we're going to spotlight everyone who comes out. So, just give her a call, let her know.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Community development can come out as well. Mike, we love to see you. But you think about it. We don't want to rush you right now. We got a couple of weeks. I think that's pretty much all I have. Michelle, do you have anything?
Sorry, Rob, I'm trying to get myself muted. Okay. No, I don't have, I have announcements when announcement time comes, but I don't have anything in terms of right now.
Okay. Excellent. All right, then we'll just keep moving right along. Next up, we'll have our community development housing update. Mr. Michael McNair.
Okay, got a few items for you. You're familiar with Operation Inasmuch. We are resuming it this year. It is scheduled for October the 23rd, and we'll cover the Macedonia and Pershing Street communities. We're right at the very front where we're starting to, I think tomorrow we're planning to start sending letters out. I'll be going to council on August the 2nd to get approval of a contract with CHS. CHS Community Housing Solutions is our coordinating agency that makes sure that nobody gets hurt and the work's done properly and all that kind of stuff. And there are several other agencies that are involved with them as far as recruiting volunteers or also recruiting homeowners to participate. So again, that's a program where the home repairs are done for free. Volunteers provide the labor. The city pays for materials and for CHS to put the program on. If any of you are interested in participating as a volunteer, we can give you a point of contact over at Community Housing Solutions. Excuse me just a second.
Mhm.
My security thing came up, and things always pop up at the worst time.
Mike, is October 23rd a Friday?
Hopefully it's a Saturday.
Awesome.
Yes, it's a Saturday.
Okay.
Hey, Mike, do you know what the time what time we're gonna meet on that day?
Generally, they start right around 7:30, I think. Is that right, Michelle? And work till around 3:30 or 4.
Okay.
Um,
And you had mentioned about signing up. Is that now, or is it another date that we start to sign up for that?
we can send you the points of contact, and you
Okay.
can reach out to them.
Okay.
What they're doing right now is they kind of look back at teams that have been formed in the past, coming from churches and nonprofits and whatnot, kind of like your A team. We can count on them, so you give them first shot, and then once you get that, then because you don't want to have too many volunteers and not enough houses. That's where you got to balance it out. And then if you get individual volunteers, then you can assign them to a team. But a lot of folks come in with their own team. You know, like you might have a business, or you might have a church, or you might have a community group, and they come in with their own team. So they sort through all of that. But it will be at CHS, and it's Cheryl Brandenburg, I think. Michelle, can you shoot that out to anybody that's interested? Her point of contact. But like I said, that will occur on October the 23rd. We try to do it strategically, not to get caught up in market.
I was gonna say I've always wanted to volunteer for that. I've seen it on social media, but it is the Saturday after market. So I'll be very
Oh, God.
tired. If you're running low on volunteers, call me.
Okay. They may, yeah. It's just hard to get around market because market always picks the good times.
I know, right?
Yeah,
We're good at it.
not too cold. You know, so you don't want to be out doing this stuff in July and December.
Yeah, except when we moved Margaret to June. I don't know who made that decision, but
Oh, that's
ooh,
right.
it was hot. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Second thing, the city manager, Tasha Logan Ford, had a press conference today. You can watch it if you like. I believe it was about half an hour on the city's YouTube channel, or you can just Google City High Point City Manager High Point, North Carolina, or something like, and you can find it. But if you didn't get a chance to see it, because they did it in the council chambers, so it's just want to make you aware of that so you can watch that.
I'll send them out the link.
Okay. A third matter, it's not really an update, it's just something for you to think about. We'd like to get some feedback from you. Unfortunately, you don't have a quorum, so you can't vote on it. But council, you're probably aware, has gone to all in-person meetings. And generally, what Papa Bear does, the Cubs do. Okay. Now, however, it's been my observation, I think, that virtual meetings has worked pretty well for the CAC because you're not doing public hearings and you're not doing the kind of stuff that requires a lot of in-person contact with the public. The public can still access you and see you, stream you. So wanted to get a sensing from you. Would you like for us to pursue that? We haven't been told, we haven't been told one way or the other, but that's generally the way things fall. But I can imagine Parks and Rec might have the same issue. You know, we have committees that are not interacting with the public in a quasi judicial manner and all that kind of stuff. Human relations might want to continue. See, there are other committees similar to you that are dealing with issues that you're not conducting activities that trigger public hearing type stuff. And so that's if the four of you say, yeah, we'd like to continue, or you want to talk about it next meeting, let us know. But I'd like to be able to report back, well, you know, we broached the subject with the CAC and they were supportive or non-supportive or didn't care. So can you give me
Mike, I think we talked to them about continuing on doing virtual meetings at a meeting, but I don't know if it was captured in the minutes.
I don't know if I froze up or you froze up.
Or can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I think we had already talked to the CAC. Huh?
I think it was me. Go ahead.
I think we had already talked to the CAC about continuing to have virtual meetings, and but I don't know if it was captured in the minutes.
Well, I missed that. I might have been.
You guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think we had already mentioned this either about a meeting, not last meeting, I don't think, but probably a meeting ago. I'm not for sure.
The only thing I remember being said about it is that we would go back to face-to-face meetings. That was.
See, I don't remember that.
Yeah, because we said, because you know, you said it wasn't going to be recorded. I remember us discussed that being brought up, that it wouldn't be recorded if you went back to face-to-face.
Yeah, because I think what I remember is the CAC said that they would like to go ahead and continue to do these until a later date, but I may be wrong.
Well, in either case, clarity as to what your thoughts are.
Personally, I mean, I don't mind going back in person at all. I do miss seeing everybody in person, but I mean, if the group feels like they want to continue to do virtual, I'm also totally fine with that.
So my take is I would rather meet in person because, like, for example, today I was at Congdon Yard in another meeting, and that's when I saw the whole shebang of different stuff that was happening at Congdon Yard. So I was able to meet the new briefly the new city manager. But from what I saw, it was amazing how people look differently in person versus virtually. So for that reason, I would rather meet in person. However, you know, if it's best for us as a group to meet on Zoom, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable or anything. I mean, I don't have a strong preference. I think my preference is in person, but do we need to wait and bring it up in the next meeting so people can vote?
You can. Sensing from where your thoughts were. Like you said, we don't have a quorum tonight anyway.
Before that, Mr. Boone, do you have a comment?
Yeah, I could go either way. I'm fine with whatever the group decides.
Okay. Well, let me just say, well, first, let me ask a question. Will these meetings be held at the 4th Street location, or will they be held in City Hall?
We could be flexible with that. We, especially with Michelle being by herself. Yeah, I don't know if we'd want to try to, you know, we want to spread the load out, I imagine. We hadn't talked about that, but whatever works out best from a staff support standpoint would be where we'd go.
Okay. I know at our last discussion about this, we had talked about maybe doing something in person August or September. And so that time is upon us. And I also remember we discussed, just making sure we're safe to see what it was going to look like in August or September. I mean, I'm not sure how everyone feels about being in close quarters because 4th Street is a little different from City Hall. So that's a little more space. And, there are, arguments and positives and negatives on both sides. But my suggestion is just that we do use caution. There is a variant that's out here. We don't know what that thing is going to do, and we need to be real, real careful. Also, Michelle is kind of down a couple of people, so I think that may be, something else that we can use because we do need that flexibility. So I'm for virtual right now, just for safety purposes, and because of the um, access it gives us to be at the meetings. But I think we'll have another discussion with the full group. But it definitely is something that we need to think about.
Agreed.
Awesome.
So hopefully we can get the other group in at the next meeting. What is that? 1, 2, 3. Okay, 4. So
A lot of people I know right now are on vacation, like a lot. So by August, everyone's back in school. Well, whatever that looks like. And so maybe everyone will be.
well, let's definitely table it for our next meeting and get an idea of what the full group thinks. But I think, Mike, at this point we're open to it, but we do want to use caution.
Well, and we're not trying to push you one way. Just knowing that what has transpired with council, it generally rolls downhill. And so I thought maybe before somebody says something that we could, try to advance the ball in the direction we want it to go.
So, Michelle, can we send out an email that just gets a opinion from all members of the CAC panel, and that way we can at least give something to Mike before he goes in the meeting on the 2nd?
We can do that. I just asked that everybody look at your emails and respond back.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure that happens on this one. Because again, I hear from the group, we're ready, but caution. We want to be cautious. So let's get that email out, and then guys, let's make sure we get that back to Michelle. I mean, hopefully we can do it within the next week and a half by next week, because that's the beginning of August. He'll be going to see the council that following week. So if we get that in and out by next week.
Is a calendar.
I'm not going to take that to council. it's more, at least it won't be, I don't think we are. I'll be discussing with the manager's office.
Okay.
Making him aware that there's interest on the CAC to continue meeting virtually. And I truly suspect that there are other groups that may want to. I don't know, but there are merits. There are merits to it that we've seen. Efficiencies, yeah, for one. And it's a little bit cheaper.
No, we still want the snack, Mike. Come on now. DoorDash. Everybody gets a DoorDash. Come on, guys. This is our time. Don't be shy.
I'm ready. I'll put my address in the chat.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Mr. Boone. Okay. Maybe he doesn't like DoorDash. So we're going to move on.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not with that. I'm not with that one.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we will table this. We'll let Michelle get that out to the group. We'll get back to her and we will decide what's going to happen next. Okay. Mike, anything else?
That's all I got, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. And we're going to move to the next item, which is city council updates. And I do not see Councilman Jefferson. So Mike, do you have any updates from City Council?
Nothing that you don't already know. You know, the city manager started Monday, new city manager. You do want to go watch that press conference. They are, I think, gearing up to do some things with the hope that the pandemic is, I won't say behind us, but is lessening. But everybody's kind of in caution mode right now. But if you've been reading the paper, there's been a lot of construction downtown underway. There's been a lot of property acquisition, particularly by Dr. Peters. So there's somebody else was moving downtown. And y'all have to pardon my dog. She wants to go outside. She's back there whining. But there's seems to be a lot of interest in folks coming downtown. So that's a good thing. So we'll keep an eye on that. I believe that the developer got a 3-month extension for the construction of the food hall, I believe is what it was. So again, there's things are moving forward, and Oral can tell you he was over at Condon Yards, and that's coming together nicely, and people are moving in. I believe Cyril's office is over there. I think the Chambers over there, I believe, also.
They're trying.
Almost, from my understanding today, almost.
They have to sell their other space first.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barbara Spangle Designs in there, Culp's moving in there, Community Foundation's in there. They got the Material Connections Library, a generator lab in the bottom. It's pretty
That
cool.
is nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Moving forward.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Anyone have any questions, any comments?
Are we at the announcement section?
Okay, Ashley, I was going to make a change in the agenda. Next is
Okay.
agenda items for the next meeting, but I want to move that to after the announcements, if that's okay with everybody.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay, then our next item will be announcements. Michelle, you have the floor.
Okay. Sorry, hold on. Okay. Just a couple of announcements that's taking place. I sent you guys an email this afternoon about the housing security workshops that's being hosted by the Human Relations Department. They're exploring the possibility of High Point looking at being a fair housing assistant, having a fair housing assistance program. And so the first workshop started tonight. And I know a lot of you probably didn't see it prior to that, but there will be like a where you can log in and get the information that you might have missed tonight. And I think it's going to be like every Thursday night for the next Thursday nights. But I sent you a schedule on when they're going to have it. So all you got to do is to click on register and register yourself. And then you can be a part of just listening to what's going on and asking questions and that type of thing. So that actually started tonight.
That session
also
was recorded, Michelle.
I'm sorry.
That session was recorded, so you can go see it.
So you can see the session tonight.
Well, I don't know if you'll see it tonight, but certainly the next couple of days.
Yeah. The other thing I sent to you guys was, I think I sent you a flyer on Community Day with the police department. So that flyer is out there. I think I sent it earlier in the week. And I think that's going to be like September to something. I can't remember the date right off the top of my head, but I did send you a flyer. I also sent you a flyer on Summer Jubilee that's also been hosted by the Human Relations Department. which is going to be on July the 31st. It's going to be held at the High Point Library, and they'll be giving away book bags and that type of thing. And on the flyer, it lists all the activities and stuff that's going to take place there. It's going to be from 9 to 1 o'clock, and they're going to have live music, and the farmers market is going to be going on. They're going to have a petting zoo, a fairy hair booth, and all types of games and stuff. And so that's something else that's going on during that time frame. And remember Community Read. Remember Mary talked about Community Read. And for anybody that does not have their book, and I think from the CAC, there's only 3 of you that's got books. And okay, when did you get your, did I give you yours?
You gave them to Jim. So Jessica and I got it from Jim.
Okay. So yeah,
Monday.
So there's a few people that don't have it, and you can actually see me, and you can I'll have them wherever you want to pick them up at, whenever you have the opportunity to do that. And so I think that kicks off on this Saturday. I think is when that kicks off. And so so you can pick up your book. Okay, and let me see what else. I think that's everything that we have going on. We have the neighborhood leaders meeting on Monday night. So if you guys want to participate, I'll send you the link to participate in neighborhood leaders meeting. And I think that's it, Rob.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Does anyone else have any announcements? Michelle, what time is that meeting on Monday of the neighborhood leaders?
6:30.
6:30, okay. And that's by Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
We're gonna actually be meeting via Zoom. We haven't, they were okay with it, and so we haven't decided as to whether when we're gonna go back to in-person meetings at this point. And maybe that's what I got confused with CAC. Maybe I thought I was talking to CAC, but it was the neighborhood leaders I know.
Okay. Well, I do want to encourage everyone to still attend the neighborhood association meetings. We have gotten off in the past year. COVID did change around our schedules. But, once we get up and running again, I just want to suggest that we get out, make sure we're getting, the voices from the people because they know, what they're looking for, what they need. And ours is that liaison between the two. So, again, I urge caution in everything we do now. But again, all your support is appreciated. I want to thank everyone for their efforts, their time, and their commitment.
And Rob, I would just like to say, I just got an email from the president for Southside. They will not be doing National Night Out this year.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Michelle. All right. So now we're going to move to the next item. Next meeting is scheduled for August 26th. Do we have any agenda items? Any members wish to be placed on the agenda? We will be going into a new school year, I hope. I know there's going to be hopefully more meetings of the neighborhood association. So I don't have anything myself if anyone else does. Okay. All right. So we're basically done, guys. Again, we do want to welcome our 2 newest members of the CAC, Ms. Kelly Jackson and Ms. Kashona Person. You guys have done great so far. And so I want to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Jessica Wynn, and I motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And Rob, because there was not a quorum, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I guess we'll bring the May minutes back to the next meeting.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Michelle. All right, guys. Thank you for your time this evening. Everyone have a great evening, and we'll see you soon.
You as well.
Bye,
Have a good one.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
night.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.